Hi, this is Sebastian Regenza from India. People of God, today I am going to say to you a topic called as gift of no condemnation. I think I just start with a short story. I don't say it's a story. It's one of the epic, or it's one of the movies of King Arthur. I think you should listen very patiently to this movie. At home also, if you want, you can go and see this movie in YouTube or something, or wherever you can find out about this movie. It's about King Arthur. Once King Arthur had a very beautiful queen, whom he loved a lot. He always wanted this queen to always be with him. But one day, what happened? Someone from his kingdom liked this queen a lot. And now this King Arthur and his queen is his wife. I knew, so we all know, the Arthur loves him so much. He doesn't want his wife to go lost here and there. Because queens in those times was a very beautiful queens. So suddenly, sometimes in the stories it's said that this queen falls in love with one of the people from the kingdom. And that man also loves this queen. They start with a small thing. They start with handshakes. Afterwards they go with hug. Afterwards it lands into a sin called adultery. It's very bad. The queen does something with a man and it's adultery now. Really, this king comes to know this thing. It's something wrong. But this man escapes from there. He runs away and he is hiding in that place. No one knows this place. But his woman is caught now. And they catch this woman. And even they tell this king Arthur, see, this is a wife who has done this thing wrong. What should be done to this woman? So actually, it's in those times, if anybody commits adultery, there is something called death sentence. There has to be a death sentence for this woman. But before death sentence, the king thinks two things. If I kill this woman whom I love, my life will be end. Because I won't get this queen. Because he loves him a lot. But if I leave her this way, it's a fraud to me because she has done something wrong. She has done something wrong and it's a fraud to me. And on one hand, if I just leave her, it's a fraud. If I keep quiet, people will say, what is this? This is a coward king, he doesn't know to speak also. Then I think I should end the story here only. If you all want, let me go and check. Let me go and see the story. Let me end the story here. Let me come to Jesus right now. Let me come to one of the Gospels. In the Gospels, in the book of John, chapter 8, you can see the Pharisees catch a woman caught in adultery. This woman is caught in adultery actually. It is for adultery, it takes 2%, not 1%. If 1% there is nothing called adultery. It takes 2% to make adultery. They catch this woman and they bring it to Jesus. This woman is called to Jesus and they say one thing. Allah commands that the person who has done adultery or this thing should be stoned with stones. They are asking Jesus, what do you see, Jesus? What do you say, Jesus? Let us listen from you, Guru. What do you say? I think it was a trick to catch Jesus. Jesus is so much smart. He has the wisdom of God and no one can fool him. If Jesus will keep quiet, people will think that he is a coward guy. If Jesus says, okay, kill this woman, stone this woman, people say he doesn't love people and they will go and tell for Roman Emperor that he wants to kill people. If Jesus says, don't stone this woman, what will people think? He is breaking the law. The same story which happened with King Arthur also. But Jesus was one of the wise man. He knew one thing. He told, yes, you can throw stones at this woman. Yes, you can throw stones at this woman. But only there is a criteria to throw stones upon this woman. The only criteria is if anyone has not ever sinned in his life, he will be the first to throw a stone at this woman. Anyone has not sinned in his life. From this chapter I come to know a lot of things. When the Pharisees came to Jesus and they were telling Jesus, this woman is caught in adultery and she needs to be stoned. Jesus was quiet for some time and he wrote something on the ground. Again, when people started to ask him, there are 2 times he wrote on the ground. But even I was thinking a lot of time, why did he write 2 times on the ground? You know why 2 times on the ground? Because the law also was given 2 times. First time when the law was given, just when Moses came down from the mountain and saw this people have done something evil, he broke that law. Once again the law was given. And 2 times the law was given. There are 2 times God wrote something which has to be followed. Something called the law. There are 2 times also when God wrote something. Once again. If you go to Jerusalem temple, you will see he didn't wrote on a sand actually. He wrote on the walls actually. Because the temples were made with bricks which could be written there. If you see the structure of Jerusalem temple, the inside was not actually with sand. He wrote something, it was just like an inscription something. It was not like he is writing something on a sand. He wrote in such a way as if it's written in the 10 commandments. In the Old Testament, God wrote 10 commandments 2 times. In the New Testament, God also wrote 2 commandments. I don't say it's a 2 commandments. God wrote 2 times. With the same finger God wrote. With the same finger Jesus wrote 2 times. If you go daily to Jerusalem and if you see this place, you get a better idea. Because in those days it was not sand actually. Jesus didn't wrote on a sand. Jesus wrote actually on a tablet, I'll say. Because the floor of the Jerusalem temple was not of sand actually. It was of, I won't say even bricks. It was of some elements or some metals. Actually, I don't know what to say that word actually. It was maybe it was called as maybe I don't know actually what to say this word. Actually, it was not sand actually. It was something actually. If you write something, it's like an inscription. It was like that this temple. If you write something, it's just like an inscription. So Jesus also wrote 2 times. He wrote if any, I think he wrote the same line. I think so. If anyone has never sinned, to be the first shown at this book. Everybody. Everything inside, yeah, we all have done sin. The oldest person lives first. I was thinking why did the oldest person live first? Because the oldest person has done a lot of sins. Because he has sinned for, I think the oldest person was 70 years. He has done sin for 70 years. The youngest person has only 20 years. And then he thinks he has done sin only for 20 years. Everybody comes to know that they have done something sin. One by one, everyone leaves. And everyone leaves. There's only Jesus over there. And Jesus looks up. He sees a woman. He says one thing. Where are the accusers of yours? The word that Jesus has used. Where are the accusers of yours? Where are the accusers of yours?